what do I want to see from Notre Dame as of right now? 4 sacks in 3 games, which is not what you want, right? That averaged over the course of a 13-game regular season would be 17 sacks. That's going to be about 120th in college football if they continue at this rate. Now you're going to say, well, hang on a second. They played Navy. Not a lot of opportunities for sacks against Navy. They obviously played against Tennessee State. There were some opportunities for sacks in that game. They just couldn't quite reel them in. And then they had plenty of pressure on Brennan Armstrong last week, but they have to do, I think, a better job of when they get there. If they can get there just a touch quicker, that'd be awesome. But when they get there, they got to be able to drop the opposing quarterback to get teams off of the field. Now, here are the positives. Love what they're doing as far as completion percentage allowed. Love that they have 5 interceptions. Love that they're 7th in total defense overall. They're 11th in red zone touchdown percentage, 15th in scoring, 15th in touchdowns allowed. That's 3. 18th in rushing touchdown defense, 28th in average yards per carry. So there are a lot of really positive statistical evidence that would indicate that Notre Dame's defense has taken significant strides. But they're not crazy dynamic along the front. And against the likes of USC, against the likes of Ohio State, against some of the teams that they'll face way on down the road, Duke, for instance, heck, even Clemson, even though they're not ranked in the top 25 right now, can you pressure Cade Klubnik? If Notre Dame's going to get where they want to go, and that's to the playoff, and then when they get to the playoff, to beat some of the teams that they might face off against in the playoff, they're going to have a little bit more dynamic front along the defensive line. So I don't know if that necessarily means using the linebackers a little bit more, whether that's number 8, Maris Leofau, number 27, J.D. Bertrand. Like, are they going to blitz those guys a little bit more? What about Jack Kaiser? Obviously a really versatile weapon, especially in some sub packages. I think he's got some good speed. And another guy, too, I'm super, super bullish on is number 3, Jalen Sneed. I think he might be, arguably in their front 7, he might be their most dynamic guy. Now, he's young, but he's a great blitzer, and he plays really hard. So I would expect his role to grow. So I'll be watching closely how they are able to affect the opposing quarterback this week against Central Michigan. And by the way, this opposing quarterback that they're playing, Bert Emanuel, now he can run and he can extend plays and he's going to get outside the pocket and he's going to create a few issues for you defensively if you're not really sound. I love the back end. I think the secondary is great, but I want to see that pass rush tee off, whether it's Botello, whether it's Jean-Baptiste, the transfer from Ohio State, or whether it's Joshua Burnham. I want to see the defensive line get after the opposing quarterback this week. They've done an adequate job, but if we're going to find one area for Notre Dame to really improve, to make this defense go from great to elite, that's where that improvement needs to come.